There are so many cool references to older SpongeBob episodes in the newer seasons, especially in SpongeBob seasons 14, 15, and 16, which is what we're going to be covering today. Easter eggs like this, or Easter eggs like this, which again call back to classic episodes. In the episode Bad Luck Bob, we're introduced to SpongeBob's lucky tie clip, this thing right here. And SpongeBob pretty much believes that this thing causes him to have good luck. In his mind, whenever he isn't wearing it, bad things happen to him. For example, at the start of the episode when he isn't wearing it, he slips out of bed, he gets crushed by his alarm, and even this happens. In the end, SpongeBob loses the clip and his life just falls to shambles, but as you guys can imagine, it's a cartoon and he ends up getting it back in the end. But more importantly, this episode has a bunch of Easter eggs, and let's get right into them. Here's the first one. I'm gonna play the clip and then I'll come back and explain it. You have to be a major nerd to catch this one. But if we go back to the old school episode Bubble Stand, a big plot point in that one is SpongeBob blowing bubbles, and he blows all sorts of bubbles. If you were paying close attention, one of those bubbles may have seemed familiar. In the original episode Bubble Stand, we see SpongeBob blow a duck bubble, this one right here, and a butterfly bubble. And in Bad Luck Bob, when SpongeBob snores, he blows something very similar. Here's a side-by-side of both, and I don't know, let me know what you guys think in the comments. I think that this was a reference, in my opinion. And we've got more. Here's another one, and let's see if you guys can catch it. It's another callback to SpongeBob Season 1, and here's a hint, it has to do with blowing leaves. You may have caught it, but the reef blower, as previously seen in the classic episode Reef Blower from SpongeBob Season 1, returns for the first time in a while and is used again by SpongeBob. This was actually the reef blower's third appearance, and it also appeared in the SpongeBob Sponge Out of Water movie. But I'm going to be doing a video that's pretty much all about movie Easter eggs from SpongeBob, like specifically in the SpongeBob movies, so subscribe for that video in the future. But yeah, let's keep it moving. Here's another Easter egg. I'm going to play the clip and then I'll come back and explain it. Roll the footage.
No! My lucky tie clip is missing.
Now this isn't a one-to-one reference, and I might be reaching here, but if we go back to the episode The Chaperone, there's this clip where SpongeBob emerges from his toaster. It seems that this is referenced in Bad Luck Bob, but SpongeBob looks kinda different. I don't know, let me know in the comments what you guys think. I think that this is a reference, but I don't know. But here's a fun fact about the episode. Take a look at this clip where SpongeBob gets his feet run over by a truck.
A new freeway?
This is actually a reference to the 1961 Merry Melodies cartoon Beep Prepared, when Wile E. Coyote's feet are flattened while trying to trip the Roadrunner. Here's a side-by-side, and yeah, that's a reference, pretty cool. You know what's also really cool though? The other Easter eggs we're gonna be covering today, so let's head over to another episode. And if you guys are enjoying, I know I said it before, but please subscribe, guys. I'm trying to hit 10K subscribers, and I'm really close, so please help. As you guys have noticed, there's no AI or anything in my content. Like, I'm a real person, like I'm talking, I'm a real person. The editing's done by a real person, and the scripts are written by me. So just, yeah, subscribe. I love you guys. Next up is the episode Upward from SpongeBob Season 15. This episode's all about Lady Upturn, which is really cool. I don't know if you guys noticed, but around like season 10 or season 11, Lady Upturn became like a regular occurring side character within the show. Like, she appears just as much as like Larry the lobster, if you think about it. But yeah, in this episode, Squidward and Lady Upturn actually become like besties. They become really good friends.
Regigild, pay the man.
You can't just buy the soul of a raw talent like myself. Lady, you just bought yourself an artist.
And remember, Lady Upturn is like a rich lady. She's like a Karen pretty much, but a rich Karen, and all of her friends are snobby. And a big plot point in this episode is her introducing Squidward to all of her friends. It actually makes for a really good episode because if you think about it, Squidward and Lady Upturn are kind of similar. So, you know, but yeah, here's some clips of this. It's really funny, and then we're gonna get right into what you clicked on the video for.
Oh my, it's incredible. But where are you going to live?
The mansion is mine. I cannot wait to show you off to my wealthy, taste-making friends. So you better get writing.
Yes, ma'am.
Like I said, it's a really good episode, and it's cool to see somebody actually supporting Squidward's dreams of being a musician for once. You know, everybody else just takes a big poop on his clarinet playing, but Lady Upturn actually invests money in Squidward. But anyways, let's get into what you guys actually clicked on this video for, and that's for some SpongeBob Easter eggs. Here's the first one, and here's how it's gonna work. I'm gonna play the Easter egg, and then I'll come back in and explain it for you guys, okay? Let's do it.
Lady Upturn! Always a delight to have you back at our gallery.
What do you have that's new and interesting? Ick.
Alright, so let me explain. When it comes to cartoons like SpongeBob or any other like Saturday morning kids cartoon, there's always going to be certain locations introduced that don't pop up in every episode. So for SpongeBob, it would be like Glove World. If you're a SpongeBob nerd like me, you know that Glove World is like, you know, SpongeBob's favorite place, and it'll pop up every couple of seasons. Well, something similar happens in this episode. But for it to make sense, we have to rewind back to two older episodes. The first one being the episode The Masterpiece, and the other episode being Squidward's School for Grown-Ups. In the episode The Masterpiece, we were introduced to the art museum, this place right here. And guess what? It actually popped up again in Upward during this scene right here. That's a really cool reference. If we head back over to Squidward's School for Grown-Ups, back in that episode, we were introduced to the famed Bikini Bottom Opera House, this place right here. And guess what? This place also pops up again in Upward during this scene right here. You know, when it comes to SpongeBob Easter eggs, they usually reference like, you know, the most common SpongeBob stuff, but it's really cool when they reference like lesser known episodes like Squidward's School for Grown-Ups. That's like an old episode, dude. And we're not done yet. I've got more Easter eggs. Let's keep it going. Here's another one. I'm gonna play a clip with the Easter egg and then I'll come back in and explain. Let's do it. Now this one is really, really funny. So if we go back to the episode Band Geeks, an iconic episode, there's this iconic scene with Patrick. Roll the clip.
Is mayonnaise an instrument?
No, Patrick, mayonnaise is not an instrument.
Yeah, well, that's referenced in Upward. As if you look at the Opera House, Patrick is literally playing mayonnaise as an instrument. So take that, Squidward. You know, if you remember, Squidward said that mayonnaise is not an instrument, but I guess it is, right, Patrick? Damn. Okay, here's another one, and you have to be a major nerd to get it, okay? It references the episode Squid Noir. Roll the clip.
Lady Upturn, there's a jellyfish blocking your ears.
Is that what he really sounds like?
Okay, so if you guys remember back in the episode Squid Noir, I believe it's from season 11, there's like a reoccurring joke. It especially happens at the end of the episode where the jellyfish, the ones that always pop up throughout SpongeBob, are seen enjoying Squidward's clarinet playing. Most people usually hate it, as you guys know, but the jellyfish love it, bro. I mean, at least in modern SpongeBob, back in the day they didn't. But yeah, as you've seen in the clip I just played from Upward, the jellyfish are seen enjoying Squidward's bad clarinet playing again, which is totally a reference. And here's another one, though it technically isn't really a reference, but it's still really cool and I have to mention it. So who remembers the character Squilliam Fancy Son? You know, Squidward's like arch nemesis, this guy?
Sounds as though you've got a dying animal to attend to, eh, old chum?
Squilliam Fancy Son?
Yeah, that guy. He's one of my favorite characters. I love Squilliam, and I really hope that Squidward gets his revenge on him one day. He did get a little revenge back in Band Geeks, you know, with the whole Bubble Bowl situation. Like, he did get the W there, but since then, he hasn't really gotten his comeuppance yet, so hopefully that happens soon. But anyways, the last time we seen him was in the episode Code Yellow. Like I said, this was 7 years ago, back in season 10. Well, the show's producers must have caught on to this because, look.
No. No! 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 No!
And just saying, he actually appears again in the next season, season 16, so stay tuned as I'm gonna make a video on that in the future. I'm gonna move on to another new SpongeBob episode in a moment, but I've got a couple more little Easter eggs and facts for you guys from this one that are really cool. Throughout the episode, Squidward wears numerous different outfits, and all of them are different references to other celebrities and cultural icons. While angrily swatting away his sheet music, he resembles Andy Warhol. Here's a side-by-side right here. Or while shopping for a golden clarinet, he resembles Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart from the 1984 film Amadeus. Another example is when he invites SpongeBob and Mr. Krabs to his debut concert, as he resembles composer Liberace, even wearing his signature King Neptune outfit. And in his last outfit, the one he wears while performing at the famed Bikini Bottom Opera House, he resembles the legendary Elton John, more specifically from his 1975 performance at the Dodger Stadium. And of course, here's another side-by-side. Really cool stuff, and now we can finally move on to another episode. Let's do it. Next up is the episode Unidentified Flailing Octopus, another season 15 episode. This episode starts like many other SpongeBob episodes, with SpongeBob and Patrick annoying Squidward. They see a commercial about aliens and decide to become alien hunters. And in the midst of this, they end up waking up Squidward with their flashlights. Like, imagine your neighbors waking you up just because they wanted to hunt for aliens. It's probably even more annoying for Squidward because he doesn't believe in aliens. But this is actually the episode's whole plot twist, as in the end, aliens are real and they end up targeting Squidward.
At last, evidence of our ancient aquatic ancestors.
We must take the artifact back to the ship.
I don't want to spoil the episode, I'll save that for you guys, but let's get into the Easter eggs or trivia when it comes to this episode. The first one is very interesting, but you have to be a Patrick Star Show fan to actually understand it. If we rewind back to the Patrick Star Show season 1 episode, To Dad and Back, we were first introduced to the character General Grouper, this dude right here.
We could use a man with that star's speed and agility in outer space. Send him up to astronaut training on the double.
Yes, sir, General Grouper, sir.
Now, what's really cool is that this character is actually exclusive to the Patrick Star Show. He was introduced and debuted in the Patrick Star Show, and he's never actually appeared in SpongeBob. But this all changed in the episode we're talking about today, Unidentified Flailing Octopus, as look, he appears right here, making for a really cool Easter egg. It's awesome to see a character that was exclusive to a spin-off show pop up in SpongeBob.
General, what are the chances that these photos and videos are just a hoax?
99.99999%.
This has actually been a bit of a trend. If we go back to season 13 in the episode Something Narwhal This Way Comes, two characters, Narlene and Nobby, that were exclusive to Camp Coral and were introduced in Camp Coral, crossed over and finally made their first appearance in SpongeBob.
Narlene Narwhal? I haven't seen you since we were kids.
So it's pretty cool. Do you guys want to see this more often? Do you guys want to see more the Patrick Star Show exclusive characters or more Camp Coral exclusive characters appear in regular SpongeBob? Let me know in the comments. Our next set of Easter eggs, or well, Easter egg, there's only one, can be found in the episode Biscuit Ballyho. In this one, Sandy's Science Scouts, these characters right here, try to raise money for a trip to Mars by selling these biscuit boxes around town. Well, Mr. Krabs, being a greedy crab, decides to get in on the action himself, stealing Sandy's idea.
Crusty Doodles. Blech. These are just stale Krabby Patty buns.
Yeah, Mr. Krabs sucks, and this whole thing leads to like a town-wide war with both troops fighting to get sales. It's a fun, wild episode that I definitely recommend, but we're not here for that, we're here for Easter eggs, and there's one I want to talk about. I'm gonna roll the clip and then I'll explain it after. Roll the footage.
All right, Science Scouts, listen up. This here business is serious as a rattlesnake bite. So let's make sure we don't mess it up. If we earn enough money, we can finally afford that trip to Mars!
This is a very obscure reference, but some of the writing that Sandy uses in her blackboard in the beginning of the episode are references to one of my favorite episodes, SpongeBob in Random Land. Particularly this K equals AZ equation and 1220, which is the exact production code for the episode SpongeBob in Random Land. which is how we know for sure that this is a reference. And let's keep it rolling. I've got another episode coming up after this with more Easter eggs. In season 14, we got a really cool episode, Creepaway Camp, which technically was a crossover episode with Camp Coral, where SpongeBob and the rest of the gang get stalked by this mysterious figure while they attend a Camp Coral reunion.
It seems different somehow.
Looks like they changed the name to Kaka.
It's especially cool because this episode really puts Camp Coral into the normal, like regular SpongeBob canon. It isn't just a random show now and is directly referenced in SpongeBob, regular SpongeBob. But anyways, this episode has a ton of Easter eggs and a ton of trivia, so let's get right into it. So to kick things off, take a look at this opening shot, and there's like 4 Easter eggs in this one shot. And I'm gonna tell you guys, you might not catch them right away as they're Camp Coral references technically, but it's still cool, and this is all the same SpongeBob universe. So, but yeah, I'm gonna play the clip and then I'll explain. Like I said, 4 Easter eggs in one shot. For one, we have Moe's possessed intertube. This was originally in the Camp Coral episode Boo Light Special. Here's a side-by-side. Sandy's helmet from Helter Shelter. The Squidward-shaped rock from the episode In Search of Camp Nudist. And Patrick's shelter from the episode Squishery. Like I said, those were Camp Coral references, so you might not have caught them, but if you're a fan of OG SpongeBob, you'll definitely catch this next one. Let's take a look and I'll explain afterwards. Okay, so let's pause for a second and let's rewind back to the episode One Crab's Trash. This is an iconic episode, and in this episode we were introduced to these things, owl clams. Remember these things as they pop up again in Creepaway Camp, making their first reappearance in like over 20 years. These things only ever appeared in the episode One Crab's Trash, and as you can see, they appear here, devouring the invitations, making for a really cool reference. And here's another Easter egg. This one is really, really cool. So as you guys seen, Mr. Krabs has a pet worm, but this isn't the first time we've seen him. This right here is Mr. Doodles. We've seen him for the first time like 18 years ago in the episodes Sandy's Rocket. Here's his appearance in that episode, and in the episode As Seen on TV. Here's also a shot of that. But he appears for his first time in a long time in Creepaway Camp, and he's very, very cute. I want a pet worm. Would you guys get a pet worm if you could? Let me know in the comments. But back to Easter eggs, and the producers of this episode really went all out. There are a ton of Easter eggs, and a lot of them are really like interesting and kind of obscure. For example, in this scene right here where Pearl gets laughed at by these girls. These girls aren't just any random characters. I'm gonna play this clip and they might seem familiar.
Hi, girls!
Hi, Pearl.
Are you guys coming to my Totally Coral birthday party tomorrow?
I don't know, Pearl. Is this gonna be as totally coral as last year?
Yeah, well, if we rewind back to the episode Whale of a Birthday, which we just did with the clips I just showed you, those same girls that laugh at Pearl in Creepaway Camp are her same friends from A Whale of a Birthday, which is another episode that's nearly 20 years old. Like, who thought of this? What cool attention to detail. And there's more. Take a look at this scene where all of the different cast members go on this bus to go back to Camp Coral. There's something in the background that is a reference to one of my favorite classic SpongeBob episodes. Roll the clip.
Oh, that makes sense.
Wait for me, dudes!
Did you guys catch it? So this sign right here, which reads, "You are now leaving Bikini Bottom," is actually from the episode Rock Bottom, and it's the exact same sign, which is really cool. Rock Bottom isn't even in this episode. It's just an awesome reference to that episode. And I've got even more. Take a look at this scene, which takes place at a party. There's a certain group of fish here in the crowd, and they're a reference to an older episode. who remembers the nudist colony of fish from In Search of Camp Nudist.
Actually, I'm only partially nude. I like to think of myself as a bridge.
It's even stranger than I imagined.
Boy, fish sure look weird without clothes on, huh?
This is another Camp Coral reference, and this entire group of fish makes a cameo at the party right here. And here's a side-by-side. It's kind of cool seeing their 3D design and then seeing their 2D designs. Now, there's actually a bunch more in this episode, but I'm gonna save them for another video. But for now, let's head over to another episode, guys, with even more Easter eggs. You don't want to miss any of the Easter eggs I have coming up. As a lot of our longtime viewers know, Season 1's Pizza Delivery is one of my favorite, all-time favorite episodes, with it being all about SpongeBob and Squidward going on a little pizza delivery adventure and doing everything they can to get this box of pizza to its destination.
Krusty Krab pizza is the pizza absolutively.
Now, I don't know if the Krusty Krab still serves pizza to this day, but it is possible, considering that a Krusty Krab pizza box did pop up in a recent episode as an Easter egg. It's easy to miss, but in the episode Plankton Gets the Boot, a Krusty Krab pizza can be seen in SpongeBob's house when he and Plankton are watching a movie in the living room.
Many unbearable hours later.
Oh, my love, what a fool I've been.
Pretty cool. Now, you probably can notice there are a bunch of other Easter eggs in the shot, but I'm gonna leave you guys to find them, so leave a comment. What other Easter eggs are in this shot? Anyways though, we have seen many superheroes and supervillains throughout SpongeBob, mainly due to there being so many Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy episodes. I love them. Some of my favorite episodes. A lot of them have stuck around. For example, the Dirty Bubble or Man Ray, but there have been a lot that have just disappeared. One often forgotten supervillain is the evil Jumbo Shrimp, who made his first appearance in Season 1's Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy 2. Since his debut, he's made a few more appearances, but they've been far and few apart. That is, until the Season 11 episode, Squid Noir, as Jumbo Shrimp appears as a poster and an action figure in near mint comic books. It's pretty cool. So this next one could possibly be a coincidence, so let me know what your personal opinion is in the comments. We've heard Squidward jam out on his clarinet many times, and in the episode SquidBob Tentacle Plants, we hear him play a very specific tune.
Good morning, Squidward. And isn't it a lovely morning? Why are you playing the clarinet on your way to work?
Well, this song seems to be referenced 2 seasons later in the episode No Hat for Pat, as when Squidward plays the clarinet, he plays the exact same track he performed in SquidBob Tentacle Pants, thus making for a possible Easter egg. They might have just reused the same clarinet track, but it also could have been a reference. We don't know for sure. Now, I'm going to show more clips, but before I do, I just want to say thank you so much for watching today's video, guys. Seriously. If you're new, make sure to subscribe. Anyways, here's those clips.
Oh, that horrible noise! Let's get out of here!
Good morning, Squidward. And isn't it a lovely morning? Why are you playing the clarinet on your way to work?
Some of my favorite episodes of SpongeBob are the superhero-themed ones, where we get to see Mermaid Man, Barnacle Boy, and even some villains like the Dirty Bubble or Man Ray get into some action. Now in the Season 3 episode, Mermaid Man vs. Barnacle Boy 5, we were introduced to the Chief, the head of the International Justice League of Super Acquaintances. This guy pretty much sends Mermaid Man, Barnacle Boy, and the rest of the IJLSA on missions. And though his role was pretty important in earlier seasons, the character has not been seen very often since. Well, that all changed in the episode Swamp Mates, as not only does the Chief make his long-awaited return on the screen in the Mermalayer, but he also appears at the end of the episode as well. They even got the same original actor from Season 3, which is like 20 years ago, to reprise his role, thus making the Easter egg even more awesome.
Woohoo! This completes my collection!
We've seen plenty of board games in the SpongeBob universe, but one of my favorites is the Flying Dutchman's Treasure Hunt from the Season 1 episode, Arg. This game nearly drives Mr. Krabs insane, with him eventually taking things way too seriously and using the game's map for a treasure hunt. To be fair, Mr. Krabs' plan does actually work, and they eventually find the treasure by the end of the episode despite using a map from a board game. But this was the last we'd see of the board game for a little while. That was until the season 6 episode, Toy Store of Doom, as at one point, SpongeBob takes the Flying Dutchman's Treasure Hunt board game out of a chest and asks Patrick if he wants to play it, only for him to decline it like everything else SpongeBob suggests. Pretty cool.
Buried treasure board game?
Sheldon Plankton is quite the inventor, with the innocent yet evil little guy creating all sorts of gadgets, weapons, and robots. But there has been one invention of his that has popped up multiple times, and that's Robot Plankton. Making his first appearance in the second SpongeBob movie, the robot has appeared twice, with the most recent appearance being in the episode Plankton Retires. The design is pretty much identical, so I would personally say that this was an intentional Easter egg by the art team. So this next one can be found in the season 13 episode Uptown Girls, and is based around two characters first introduced in Camp Coral. These two are Ro and Rhea, Lady Upturn's two cabin roommates from, well, Camp Coral. Well, the episode Uptown Girls gives us a little update on what happened to both characters after Camp Coral, via various posters in Lady Upturn's shop, with Ro becoming a clothing model based on this poster, and Rhea becoming the face of a perfume company based on this other poster. Our next Easter egg, or well, I guess Easter eggs, are hidden in the fairly recent season 13 episode Say Ah. Now there have been hundreds of incidentals introduced over the years. This can sometimes result in older ones being discontinued. But fortunately for us longtime fans, the episode Say Ah brings a total of 3 discontinued incidentals back for the first time in like 20 to 22 years. First up is Incidental 62, who makes their first appearance since the season 3 episode New Student Starfish. There is also Incidental 66, who was last seen in the season 1 episode Fools in April. Oh, and finally, Incidental 71, who hasn't been seen since season 2's Patty Hype. Pretty cool, so listen up, as this next Easter egg is a little complex. In SpongeBob, every episode has a production code, and sometimes these production codes will be hidden in episodes as Easter eggs. So, as you can imagine, this is exactly the case in the episode Food PBFFT Truck, as one of the signs at the Rock Bottom Mall reads SB138, which is actually a reference to the production code of the season 1 episode Rock Bottom, which makes sense because it's in the Rock Bottom Mall. So yeah, it's very subtle, but boy, is it cool to see such an iconic episode referenced in the modern day. Our next Easter egg can be found in another recent SpongeBob episode, Patrick the Mailman. This Easter egg is similar to the one found in Say Ah, as it has to do with a long-lost character, that being SpongeBob's jellyfishing idol, Kevin C. Cucumber. Kevin made his first appearance in the episode I'm Your Biggest Fanatic, but since then, we haven't really seen him for a while. Well, that is until Patrick the Mailman, as this episode marks Kevin C. Cucumber's first major appearance since I'm Your Biggest Fanatic from season 2, thus making for a really cool callback. So in the world of SpongeBob, it seems that everyone wants a pet snail, with them pretty much serving as dogs or cats. Heck, even Squidward gets one at one point. Remember Snelly? Well, one snail that is often forgotten is Mrs. Puff's pet snail, Annette. She made her first appearance in the season 3 special, The Sponge Who Could Fly, but sadly has not been seen much since. Well, this all changed in the season 12 episode, My Two Crabses. During this scene, we can see that Mrs. Puff has a picture of Annette in her house, thus making for a neat little reference. I do wonder though, what happened to the snail? Like, does Mrs. Puff still have her? Let us know what you think in the comments down below. Our next Easter egg can be found in the season 9 episode Bulletin Board, and I'm actually pretty proud of it. This is a cool one. In this episode, the Krusty Krab puts up a community bulletin board and lets customers use the board for feedback. Now, this episode is actually pretty good, but it's not the plot that matters. What actually matters is this Easter egg. In the classic episode, it's literally just titled there is a gag where Patrick, or well, Patar, his distant ancestor, however, puts salt on his hand and tries to eat it. It happens a couple times throughout the episode. Well, it seems this is referenced in Bulletin Board, as this exact same gag happens during this scene. You can see Patrick put his hand into his mouth, salt it, and put it back in. What a cool Easter egg. Our next Easter egg revolves around the season 1 episode, Muscle Bob Buff Pants. After getting roasted by Sandy for not being as strong or fit, SpongeBob resorts to some interesting methods to prove her wrong, and purchases a new product he sees on TV known as anchor arms. These things are pretty much gloves that can be inflated with air to look like muscles, and SpongeBob is sold pretty fast after seeing the commercial, with him ordering himself a pair so he can lie and flex on all of his friends. Well, this devious product is actually referenced in the season 11 episode Handemonium. Right at the beginning of the episode, we see the outside of Larry's gym, and if you look closely, there is graffiti that reads "Anchor arms are for wimps," thus making a direct reference to the classic season 1 episode. There's also another Easter egg here, but let me know in the comments if you spotted it. The episode One Course Meal is all about Plankton, with us learning that he has an extreme, and I mean extreme, fear of Pearl, due to her being a whale. This is actually really funny, as it's scientifically accurate due to whales being able to consume about 15 tons of plankton in one single day. Plankton's fear of Pearl was recently referenced in the episode The Ghost of Plankton. In this episode, the Flying Dutchman teaches Plankton how to be a ghost, and when he showcases his transformation skills, he turns into Pearl, and this scares the absolute heck out of Plankton. As most of you know, Squidward is an artist, so it's no surprise that one of his old paintings is referenced in Season 6. The painting in particular are his 483 self-portraits first seen in the episode Gone, and they appear when SpongeBob is having tea with Squidward in the episode Not Normal. Another reference can be found as SpongeBob and Patrick are belly sliding through town. As they go off a ramped truck, Oyster Stadium can be seen for the first time in a while as they are falling. Here's a clip of both references or Easter eggs with audio.
I never thought I'd hear myself say this, but please come in, SpongeBob.
Thank you. Tell me, what are you doing cooped up in here when the weather outside is so normal?
Well, today is dusting day, the day I dust my 483 self-portraits.
Wow, that's something you don't see in the average house.
Squidward! Have you seen Gary? He's gone missing!
Squidward? Not a sign of Squidward anywhere. Squidward? You up here?
Mommy, what are those things?
Those are undesirables, honey.
We've seen plenty of board games in the SpongeBob universe, whether it's Sailor Mouths, Eels in Escalators, or Patrick the Game from Season 9. But one of my favorites is the Flying Dutchman's Treasure Hunt from the Season 1 episode Arg. This game nearly drives Mr. Krabs insane, with him eventually taking things way too seriously, and using the game's map for a treasure hunt. To be fair, Mr. Krabs' plan does actually work, and they eventually find the treasure by the end of the episode, despite using a map from a board game. But this was the last we'd see of the board game for a little while. That was until the Season 6 episode, Toy Store of Doom, as at one point, SpongeBob takes the Flying Dutchman's Treasure Hunt board game out of a chest, and asks Patrick if he wants to play it, only for him to decline it like everything else SpongeBob suggests. Pretty cool, huh? Really cool. I love Easter eggs like this. Here's a clip.
Look, Patrick, 8 gold doubloons.
Wait, I saw it first! Yeah! Mine! Huh?
Boy, Mr. Krabs, you sure are sweaty.
What's this? Where are the doubloons?
It's a game. The Flying Dutchman's Treasure Hunt.
Looks like you've shanghaied me. My turn. 5. One of your shipmates has been a bad pirate. Send him to the brig.
I guess we could play something. How about a yo?
No.
Yo. Buried treasure board game?
No.
The next episode we'll be talking about today actually features 2 Easter eggs, so let's just skip the plot summary and get right to the good stuff. The first is a SpongeBob's Last Stand reference, with this Save the Jellyfish sign being shown in the pile of rubble. Another reference is this ukulele, as it's most likely a reference to the ukulele used by SpongeBob in the episode Fun, which is another reference to an older SpongeBob episode. I love those. Here's a clip.
Chum bucket, sludge bucket, highway flyway. Lily liver, pizza giver, mashed potato, kelp tomato. All we are trying to say is give jellyfish fields a chance.
I can't take it much longer. I hope he's not in any pain, wherever he is.
I think he's doing just fine.
Mr. Krabs, you gotta get up. We gotta get out of here.
Oh. Okay, T-Boy, I think I'm good.
Remember to drink plenty of fluids.
Look, SpongeBob, you see all this stuff?
One of my favorite classic or iconic SpongeBob episodes is Season 3's Krusty Krab training video, an episode that parodies fast food training videos from the 90s and does a very good job at doing so. Now, as a kid, I absolutely loved this episode, so I was really happy when it got referenced in the episode Appointment TV. In this episode, a rare episode of Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy is going to air on TV, and SpongeBob wants to record it. So at one point in the episode, we see him set up his VHS to record, and he looks at his tape collection to tape over a tape and record the show. And it seems that one of these tapes is the Krusty Krab training video, thus making for a really heartwarming and cool Easter egg. Here's a clip with audio.
All that's left is to set the VCR to record, so I can relive the magic over and over forever. But which tape to use? Don't have any blank ones left. Oh, here we go. Who needs a tape of their own birth anyway?
To keep up with today's demanding customers, no expense has been spared to acquire all the latest achievements in fast food technology.
This here is an advanced patty control mechanism. Here you can see our automated money handling system. Don't touch.
The character, Flats the Flounder, made multiple appearances in early seasons of SpongeBob. For example, Sandy's Rocket, Texas, but most notably The Bully, where he plays a major role, where he pretty much wants to kick SpongeBob's butt throughout the entire episode, just for sitting beside him and saying, "Hey, poor SpongeBob." Now, since The Bully, he hasn't had very many appearances. He has appeared a few times, but it has been fairly limited. That was until the episode Don't Feed the Clowns, as he's actually a customer of the bakery who gets knocked out by getting hit with a pie thrown by Incidental C1. Talk about a cool reference. It's nice to see Flats the Flounder back in action again, especially in a more recent episode.
Flats is from a town where kicking someone's butt means that he wants to be your friend. And maybe play some sports with you on weekends.
I got diarrhea.
In the Season 6 episode, The Krabby Chronicle, we get a cameo from a longtime fan favorite character that had been absent for some time. Now, back in Season 3, we got the iconic episode, Nasty Patty, an episode all about Mr. Krabs and SpongeBob nearly killing an innocent health inspector. Now, this health inspector is named Health Inspector Yellowtail Andy, and after missing for a few seasons, he made his much welcomed return in the episode The Krabby Chronicle. During this scene where he closes down the chum bucket after seeing an ad in the newspaper revealing that the food is legitimately made with chum. Ew. He even puts a giant out of business sticker on the chum bucket to really push the point. Fun fact, this episode is also where the health inspector's last name was first revealed to be Yellowtail. Pretty cool, huh? Oh, and also just saying, the character has made other appearances since the Krabby Chronicle, but this episode was his first reappearance in years. Here's a clip of the Easter egg with audio.
Hey, this guy's not a zombie. He's just an ordinary health inspector. Yes, and at the risk of being hit again, I'd like to present you with this.
Hey, Mr. Krabs, look! We passed the inspection!
Come on, everybody! Krabby Patties at half price! Well, not really.
Oh boy, I'd like a Krabby Patty. The chum stick that's finally gonna drive crabs out of business! I think not. I'm Health Inspector Yellowtail. I'm officially closing down your restaurant. That's not what this says. Plankton's chum made of your chums? The chum bucket serves your friends in more ways than one? What? Who's to blame for this? Who?
Another classic SpongeBob episode that I loved as a kid was Season 2's Sandy, SpongeBob, and the Worm. This episode was pretty darn epic, with SpongeBob and Sandy teaming up and going on an adventure to find the Alaskan bullworm that has been terrorizing Bikini Bottom. Now in the end, they succeed and manage to lunge the thing off of a cliff, and for a while, it seemed like this would be the last we'd see of the Alaskan bullworm. That is, until the episode My Leg, as during the montage where SpongeBob is trying to purposefully damage Fred's leg, Fred sprinkles salt over his leg, then SpongeBob rings a bell and the Alaskan bullworm slithers over to Fred. Pretty cool, huh? Here's a clip. Now I don't know if it's just me, but it seems that Nickelodeon really turned up the Easter eggs in Season 12, as there are so many. One episode that comes to mind is Lighthouse Louie. In this episode, SpongeBob finds himself stuck cleaning Mrs. Puff's boating school lighthouse, which is full of a bunch of junk seen over the years throughout the show's history. Now during this scene, where SpongeBob falls into a pile of trash, we get a close-up look at one of these pieces of junk. I'm talking about this familiar-looking pizza box that I'm sure all of you recognize. That's right, this is yet another reference to one of my all-time favorite SpongeBob episodes, Season 1's Pizza Delivery. You know, I've always wondered if the Krusty Krab is still serving pizza, and hey, this pretty much confirms it. Here's a question though. Which toppings would you get on your Krusty Krab pizza? Let me know in the comments. Anyways though, here's a clip of the Easter egg.
That box is haunted! Oh my God, these stairs are haunted! This trash is haunted!
Krusty Krab, yeah, pizza is the pizza, yeah, for you and me.
In the episode, Krusty Catering, we're introduced to a new business scheme by Mr. Krabs, a catering service where SpongeBob, Squidward, and even Patrick cater food at parties and look after kids. Now at the ending of this episode, it's presumed that Mr. Krabs has ended the services and goes back to just running the Krusty Krab. However, it seems the business is still going, including the truck, as in the episode Plankton Retires, there's a scene where Mr. Krabs claims he's off to go and make a delivery, and a patty falls out of the Krusty catering truck, not only giving us a really cool Easter egg, but also confirmation that the business is still operating, even in Season 12, so yeah, really cool.
I cannot believe I let you talk me into this.
I'm off to make a delivery.
That fool.
In the iconic Season 2 episode Sailor Mouth, SpongeBob and Patrick learn some new, spicy, sentence-enhancing swear words from a dumpster outside of the Krusty Krab. And though they're told by Mr. Krabs not to use these bad words, which none of you should use either by the way, they eventually ignore the old man and get themselves into some trouble. Well, Patrick gets SpongeBob into trouble when he goes to snitch on him. Before all of this happens though, we're given this iconic scene, like this scene is iconic, where SpongeBob and Patrick play a board game called Eels and Escalators, a parody of the classic game Snakes and Ladders, and it makes for a really funny scene. Well, 10 seasons later, in the episode Bubble Bass's Tab, I think it's a season 12 episode, this board game, Eels and Escalators, is referenced, with it appearing on SpongeBob's internal shelf of games. As you guys know, I'm a major fan of the Steven Hillenburg era of SpongeBob, so I loved this little nod.
Now, let's play a nice wholesome game of Eels and Escalators.
Oh boy, my favorite!
Come on, Gary needs a new pair of shoes!
Ooh, eels! Too bad, SpongeBob, you gotta ride the eel.
Darn.
My turn! Hooray! Escalators! Up, up, up!
You'll have to play the 3 deadly challenges.
Oh, the 3 deadly challenges! I got this game! Where is it? Game of Strife, Shoots and Bladders. Oh, here it is! The 3 deadly challenges!
Board game. Whoopee.
Okay, and last but not least, our final Easter egg, or secret, can be found in the episode Patrick's Alley, which I will admit is a bit of a cheat since it's from the Patrick Star Show and not SpongeBob, but who cares? It's still really cool. As you guys know, I'm a big fan of SpongeBob incidental characters, so I was pleasantly surprised when I seen Incidental 98 pop up in Patrick's Alley. This extremely rare incidental is known for his blue shirt with a heart on it, and he hasn't made an appearance since season 2. There aren't a whole lot of images of him, but this was definitely a really neat return of a highly requested incidental. Everyone wanted to see this guy back, so it's really cool.
Patrick!
Okay, so listen up, as this next Easter egg is a little complex. In SpongeBob, every episode has a production code, and sometimes these production codes will be hidden in episodes as Easter eggs. So, as you can imagine, this is exactly the case in the episode Food PBFFT Truck, as one of the signs at the Rock Bottom Mall reads SB138, which is actually a reference to the production code of the season 1 episode Rock Bottom, which makes sense because it's in the Rock Bottom Mall. So yeah, it's very subtle, but boy, is it cool to see such an iconic episode referenced in the modern day. Here's a clip.
Maybe the Rock Bottom Mall? Where is everybody? The circus should be good for crowds.
Maybe it's a flea circus.
Yeah, it's still warm.
SpongeBob has many villains, for example, the often misunderstood Plankton. But the best villains are the supervillains, seen in the Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy episodes. For example, the Dirty Bubble. But one that is usually forgotten is Jumbo Shrimp. Well, in the Patrick Star Show episode, X Marks the Pot, he makes a small cameo, with him being seen all beaten up in a mugshot. Now, by the way, I will say, this section was actually written before Captain Pipsqueak came out, so I know that he has a major role in that episode, but before that episode, this was one of his biggest cameos. So yeah, an Easter egg. Here's a clip.
I want to take your picture. Would you care to peruse my portfolio?
Oh, I'd love to. Would you look at that? Isn't it cute? Oh my, so artistic, girl. Oh, you simply must take a portrait of my whole family.
Our next Easter egg can be found in the season 13 episode Upturned Girls, an episode we've admittedly talked about a lot recently, but only because the episode is full of spicy Easter eggs. Now, the Easter egg in question has to do with this obscure SpongeBob villain, the Atomic Flounder. This supervillain was formerly an enemy of Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy, and made his first appearance in the season 1 episode, Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy 2, as an old retired version of himself that gets attacked by SpongeBob. Now, since season 1, the character has barely been seen, let alone mentioned. That is, until the episode Upturned Girls, as when Pearl and Narlene first arrive at Upturns, the exact same old retired version of the Atomic Flounder makes his first appearance in 20 plus years, making for a really cool little reference. Here's a clip.
And Barnacle Boy laid an egg. Hey!
That fellow over there used to be the Atomic Flounder. He could go back to crime, just like that.
Help! Help! Help somebody there! You're under arrest, Atomic Flounder!
Stop, kid! Stop!
This is my favorite department store and like the heart of the big city.
Our first Easter egg can be found in the season 13 episode Upturned Girls. I know we've covered it a lot recently, but this Easter egg is really cool and new. But it is a little complicated, so pay attention. In the episode Squeaky Boots, it's Pearl's birthday. So we learn about flipper slippers, new shoes that are a bit of a fad amongst teenagers, and seem to be especially popular with young girls. Pearl wanted these for her birthday, she doesn't get them, but all of her friends wear them, and we know that Pearl really likes these and really likes shoes. Well, it seems that these shoes are referenced in the episode Upturned Girls, as when Pearl and Narlene enter the shoe area, there is a poster on the wall for what seems to be new, updated, or evolved versions of the shoes. I know this for sure because at one angle, we can see at the bottom that the shoes are by Flipper, and like I said, the shoes that they're referencing are called Flipper Slippers. So, definitely a really cool Easter egg here. Whoever wrote this episode, this is a really cool one. Here's a clip.
What is it, Daddy? It wouldn't be those totally hip new flipper slippers all my friends are wearing, would it? Everyone wants them.
It might be.
Don't forget my new flipper slippers, Daddy.
Darling, I won't.
Attention, Upturns shoppers. There's a sale in the shoe department, 10th floor.
No way, so many shoes!
Huh?
The character Lady Upturn was first introduced in the episode Krusty Catering, and has been quite the reoccurring character ever since, with her even being included in the SpongeBob spin-off Camp Coral, with a major role. Well, the episode Upturned Girls, an episode we already talked about today, gave Lady Upturn's character even more personality, with Lady Upturn getting her own luxury shop called Upturns. And this is where we can find our last Easter egg, as if we watch closely during this scene, we can see that an extremely rare incidental makes their first appearance in nearly 20 years, that being the female collector, who made her last appearance in the season 3 episode One Krabs Trash, where she wants to buy the soda drinking hat for Mr. Krabs. Talk about a long-lost character.
I'm prepared to give you $500 for that drink hat.
Not so fast, I'll give you $1,000 for such a hat.
Okay, so this next one is a bit of a deep cut, so get ready, as what the episode references is very subtle. I didn't even realize it at first. In the episode Ghost Host, the Flying Dutchman realizes that he's lost his scary mojo. So to try and sharpen his skills, he tries to scare both SpongeBob and Squidward. It doesn't go very well, but during one of his attempts to scare SpongeBob, he transforms into this big red bug thing. And honestly, since this episode, we haven't really seen it since, but it seems that this exact transformation is referenced in the episode Ink Lemonade, as during this scene, where Squidward first enters the creepy nursery, there is a picture of this exact same big red bug that the Flying Dutchman turned into on the wall, thus making for, like I said, a really deep cut in terms of Easter eggs. Like, the Flying Dutchman transforms 50 plus times in Ghost Host, so it's interesting that they chose this one to reference in particular. But anyways, here's a clip with audio.
Not creepy nursery rhyme music!
The episode, 20,000 Patties Under the Sea, has an Easter egg in its title. For those who may not know, the title is a reference to a Julie Verne novel, 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. That's not the only Easter egg present in this episode, though. The con man from the episode Chocolate with Nuts is back again, and he cons SpongeBob and Patrick once more. Now, after he cons SpongeBob and Patrick, he says, "Hey, thanks again, guys." This means he remembers the characters from the last time he conned them. Another cool thing you may not have known about this episode is that Gene Simmons from the band Kiss plays the sea monster in the episode. Pretty cool.
Are you sure you don't want to be our first customer, sir?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Wait! We'll pay ya.
Hey, thanks again, guys. Good luck with the restaurant.
Thank you, sir. Come again.
It's specially designed to cradle each candy bar in velvet-lined comfort. But I'm wasting my time. You don't need these bags.
We need them! We need them!
So long, boys. Happy hunting. Suckers.
Back in the Season 3 episode, Wet Painters, SpongeBob and Patrick are roped into painting and cleaning good old Mr. Krabs' house. However, there's one important condition. They can absolutely not get any paint or dirt on Mr. Krabs' most prized item, his very first ever dollar. Well, plot twist, they do end up getting some paint on it. And from here, the episode focuses on this dilemma, with SpongeBob and Patrick panicking to get the dollar clean. Now, since then, Mr. Krabs' first dollar has made a few cameos, but my favorite is in the episode Whale Watching. It happens fast, but as you can see right here, the dollar is one of the many things destroyed by Pearl's explosive crime. Very, very cool. Here's a clip of the Easter egg with audio.
We're dead, Patrick. Do you know what that is?
It's $1! I win!
That's not just $1. It's Mr. Krabs' first dollar, his most prized possession, and we got paint on it.
I want to go to the party!
Oh, shrimp.
Many of our longtime viewers know one of my top 3 favorite SpongeBob episodes is Season 1's Pizza Delivery. In this episode, Mr. Krabs gets a call for a late-night pizza delivery order, and despite the Krusty Krab literally being a burger restaurant and not a pizza place, Mr. Krabs still takes the order and turns some Krabby Patties into a pizza. Now, considering how iconic this episode is, I was not surprised when I caught this little Easter egg in the Season 12 special, SpongeBob's Birthday Blowout, as during the live action scene where Plankton's voiceover artist is thrown out of the trusty slab, a Krusty Krab pizza box can be seen in the pile of garbage. That's pretty cool. I love classic references that reference the Steven Hillenburg era of SpongeBob. It was the best time. Here's a clip.
Mr. Krabs, we don't serve pizza.
don't deliver. We don't deliver, but you do.
Sorry, Potty, you'll have to hold it. Come on.
Easy for you to say,
Oh, excuse me, sir. Pardon me.
Ooh, that was delicious. I love surface food.
And last, but certainly not least, our final Easter egg can be found in the episode SpongeBob's Last Stand. But for it to actually make sense, we have to go back to the episode Chum Bucket Supreme. In this episode, Plankton hires on Patrick as an advertising director. I don't know why he picked Patrick, but he hires him on to do the advertising for the Chum Bucket. And Patrick comes up with this slogan, Chum is Fum, as a way to give the Chum Bucket some identity, I guess. Well, this is directly referenced a few seasons later in the episode SpongeBob's Last Stand, as the Chum Bucket slogan, Chum is Fum, is seen on a billboard. Again, another really cool Easter egg.
Jellyfish fields a chance. Plankton's eye, ham on rye, Larry's thigh, battle cry.
You're supposed to be coming up with witty catchphrases to keep that rabble out there happy. Chum is Fum. We've kind of got that one already.
Oh, I like that one!
Oh well, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Thank you so much, guys, seriously, for supporting the channel. We're growing like crazy. Like, one day we might be the #1 SpongeBob channel, and it's because of you guys. I'm Cartoon Corey, I'm your host, and I'll see you guys tomorrow with some more spicy content. Peace.